Hello, and welcome back to Aftershock Weekly, episode 5. This week's episode is called Keep the Change. This week we're going to talk about some important things when it comes to setting an advertising budget and how to make changes to your advertising so that you can measure effectively but continue to have a presence with your audience. First thing we're going to talk about is being consistent with your budget. Questions we often get is, how much should we be spending in advertising? How much should our marketing budget be? Well, the rule of thumb is it should be between 5 and 10% of your projected gross revenue. So let's say in the first quarter you project to do $60,000. Well, you can break that down to your advertising budget being between $3,000 and $6,000 that you can allocate towards marketing. You should be making updates to your budget every quarter based on projections. So this means that if you have a growth pattern of 10 or 20%, you take that into account of your gross revenue, and then you go ahead and make your adjustments to your marketing budget so that it stays consistent with the growth. Next, we're going to talk about how to reach out to your audience. We need to pick a strategy, and in this particular case, we're going to have a hypothetical strategy that could look like this. AdWords and Facebook offer with call to action. Well, maybe you're running a campaign on Google AdWords that when people are searching for your product or service, you're showing them an ad that's very specific to that, taking them to a landing page where they can submit a form, they can buy something, so it's a very direct call to action. Or maybe you're running a Facebook ad that is mirrored towards your demographic audience so that you can have consistency and have a call to action for that audience for your product. Another way to get out your brand awareness would be through YouTube advertising and Facebook video. This would allow you to run videos so that you can create branding awareness of your business to your audience, but also expand on the message through video. It doesn't always have to be a direct call to action. It can be creating awareness, but video is a great way to expand that message. So now that you've got your advertising budget set, you've got your strategy, the next thing we need to do is we need to test. You want to A/B test all the time. Now you want to give it enough time to where you can actually make a decision on what's working and then test something else. Let's talk about a few things that you can A/B test. You can run 2 separate ads. You can run ads to 2 separate landing pages. You can run ads to 2 different audiences. Ideally, you want to run 1 test per week. What this means is you don't want to A/B test more than one thing at a time so that you can really boil down to what's working and what the distinguishing factor is. So then you can change it out, test it against something else, or do another A/B test after about a week. Lastly, you want to be consistent. One of the things we at Aftershock Digital tell all of our customers is you have to be consistent with your marketing. No knee-jerk reactions. Every time a couple days goes by without a lead, or maybe sales drop a little bit over a 2-day period of time, you don't need to get up in arms about it. Give it some time. That's why we say that you want to test things for at least a week so you have enough data to really make an appropriate decision on whether you need to make a change. Stay the course for 90 days. Whatever strategy you choose, although you're going to be A/B testing within that strategy, stick to the same strategy. Make sure that you give it enough time to actually work. It's not always the first week or the first 3 weeks or month that you're going to get frequency with the audience that you're working with, and that will allow you to make the next decision along with the new budget based on your projections for the next quarter. You have to be in front of your audience consistently, and whatever your budget is, stick to it. Many times we find that young businesses get in, they don't set a marketing budget, and they don't realize that no matter how good or bad things are going, that you have to continue to get your message out. Otherwise, how are you going to get new customers? How are you going to attract that new business? So once you set your budget, you need to stay consistent with it, make changes to the ads themselves, or maybe even the medium or strategy, but continue to have an awareness with your audience. That way, you're always moving forward. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 5 of Aftershock Weekly. We look forward to seeing you next Monday. But with that, we'll leave you with a quote.